The stars shone bright over the sprawling human colonies of the Zareth system. From orbit, the blue and green planet of Aurora Prime looked peaceful, almost untouched. But below its surface, cities thrived, and spaceports hummed with life. Humanity had spread across this new star system in just a decade, carving homes out of barren worlds and asteroid belts. They had fought storms, radiation, and isolation, and now they were proud of what they had built. Commander Elias Varn stood on the bridge of the orbital command ship Horizon's Edge, his sharp eyes scanning the hollow display of the colonies. Sensors showed routine traffic, resource shipments, and the occasional mining drones in the asteroid fields. The system was calm, almost too calm. Elias liked calm. It allowed him to plan, to think. But this calm had a warning about it, though he could not yet see what. "Commander, we're receiving a message from Aurora Prime," reported Lieutenant Juna Reese, a young communications officer with nerves of steel. "It's strange. The transmission is encrypted and the code signature, it's not human." Elias frowned. "Show me." The holographic display flickered and changed, revealing symbols that twisted and shimmered in colors humans were not meant to see. It was like staring at a living puzzle. Dr. Leora Khan, the fleet's xenobiologist, leaned forward. Her eyes widened. "This is alien, and highly advanced. These symbols aren't just a message, they're a warning." Elias leaned back, crossing his arms. "A warning? From who?" "No signature we recognize," Leora said. "But the design, it looks like a dragon." She pointed to the shape of a coiled figure with wings carved into the symbols. "Whatever sent this, they want us to understand. Or fear." Elias rubbed his jaw. He was a man who had faced pirates, rogue AI, and asteroid storms that could tear a ship apart. Yet this, whatever this was, made his chest tighten. "Fear, huh? Typical first contact, I guess. Ignore it, they'll move on." But Juna shook her head. "There's more, Commander. It's not just one message. There are hundreds reaching every colony, and some of them already reported strange incidents. Systems failing, communication blackouts." Elias's eyes narrowed. "Blackouts? How extensive?" "Minor so far, but Aurora Prime's northern mining stations lost contact an hour ago." The bridge fell silent. Elias could feel the weight of responsibility pressing on him. Every colony, every person, every family relied on his decisions. To ignore warnings could be fatal. "Get me Aurora Prime Station, Commander," Elias said. "I want a status report." Moments later, a shaky face appeared on the screen. Commander Raoul Tin, a veteran miner-turned-station leader. "Commander Varn, you're seeing the messages too?" His voice trembled. It's not just warnings. Systems went offline. Automated drones attacked each other. Some mining rigs self-destructed. We tried sending ships, but the drones wouldn't let them leave. And then we saw something." Elias's grip tightened. "Saw what?" Raoul's eyes widened in fear. "A ship, huge, shaped like a dragon's head. It didn't fire on us, just hovered, watching. Then it left, but it left damage behind. Some of our sensors are fried. We don't know what it wants." Elias exhaled slowly. He had faced alien life before, but never like this. Never a species that moved with purpose, intent, and a warning. "Understood. Evacuate non-essential personnel. Keep records. I'll send a fleet to observe." Juna and Leora exchanged looks. Leora whispered, "If that's a warning, it's not the kind we can ignore. Dragons, in myth, they protect territory. They punish intruders. Maybe it's the same." Elias considered her words. The humans had expanded rapidly, mining asteroids, terraforming planets, and setting up colonies. Maybe in their expansion, they had trespassed into territory that was sacred to some unknown species. "Noted," he said. "Prepare a report for the Colonial Council. And alert the fleets. I want a defense plan, but no offensive action yet. We don't know what we're dealing with." Meanwhile, across the colonies, panic began to spread. Some colonists laughed at the idea of dragons. After all, humans had faced far deadlier threats. But the mysterious attacks told a different story. Mines malfunctioned. Drones exploded without cause. Electrical grids flickered. And everywhere, the same dragon-shaped symbol appeared, etched into metal, glowing briefly before fading away. At Aurora Prime Station 4, Leora worked with her team to analyze the symbols. "It's like they're alive," she murmured. "Every time we decode part of it, it shifts. Almost like they're communicating and testing us at the same time." Elias watched over her shoulder. "Testing us? Yes, Leora said. They attacked drones but not humans. They fried circuits, but they didn't harm anyone directly. They're sending a message, but it's in a language we barely understand. It's a warning, maybe even a challenge. Elias clenched his jaw. Then we answer it. But carefully. Night fell over the colonies, though in space night was just a concept. People slept in their homes, unaware that their systems had been tampered with, that something watched from the shadows of space. Somewhere beyond the outer rim, a massive ship moved silently. Its headlight front glimmered in the starlight, wings folded as if coiled in patience. It was observing humanity, waiting. The next morning, alarms blared across Aurora Prime. Sensors detected multiple anomalies, asteroids moving unnaturally, fleets experiencing malfunctions and communications failing in random bursts. Elias' voice was calm but firm over the command channels. This is not a drill. Every colony report all unusual activity immediately. Stay in orbit until further instructions. Humanity is being watched. And tested. Leora approached him, worry etched on her face. They're intelligent, Elias. Whoever or whatever they are, they can read patterns. They know our technology. They know our strategies. Elias nodded slowly. Then we have to be smarter. We adapt, we survive. That's what humans do. We've built colonies in the most hostile worlds, faced impossible storms, pirates, and plagues. We've survived because we don't give up. Not now, not ever. Across the colonies, life continued, but tension hummed in the air. Children played in city parks, miners worked in tunnels, pilots trained in simulators, but all of them were part of a species under watch, a species being warned. And somewhere in the darkness, the dragons waited. The first attack came that night. Not a ship firing, not a fleet destroyed, but a subtle and terrifying display. Mining drones exploded simultaneously across 3 colonies. Communications glitched. Sensors burned out. No humans were hurt, but the message was clear. Humanity was being watched, and the watchers were powerful. Elias paced the bridge, watching the reports flow in. We don't know their strength, he muttered, but we will meet their intelligence with ours. We will survive. We are human. That alone is enough to face them. Dr. Leora Khan placed a hand on his shoulder. Commander, whatever comes, we have to be ready, not just to fight, but to understand. That's the only way humans can win against something that doesn't think like us. Elias nodded. His mind raced, forming strategies, contingency plans, and protocols for every possible scenario. Humanity had faced impossible odds before. It had survived when others thought it would fail. And now the dragons had come. The stars outside the bridge flickered, the dragon-shaped symbols appearing once more in the sensors. Humanity had been warned. The dragons were coming. And for the first time in decades, humans felt the chill of being small in a vast universe. But not for long. For humanity, survival was never just about strength. It was about courage, intelligence, and the will to rise against the impossible. And Elias Varn swore quietly that the dragons would learn exactly what humans were capable of. The calm of space was shattered. The mining fleet scattered across the outer rim of the Zareth system had never felt fear like this before. The warnings from the dragons were no longer subtle. They had escalated. Commander Elias Varn stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge, his hands gripping the railing as he watched the sensor readings flicker wildly. Report, he barked. Lieutenant Juno Reese pointed at the holographic display. Multiple anomalies in the asteroid belt near Aurora Prime. Automated drones are attacking each other. Mining rigs are offline, and sensors detected a massive ship approaching. Massive? Elias pressed. It's enormous, Juno said, her voice steady despite the tension. Shaped like the dragon symbol from the messages. Its head is elongated, wings folded, and it seems alive. Dr. Leora Khan frowned, leaning over the display. Commander, it's not just a ship. The patterns in its energy signature suggest it's linked to some sort of psychic field. It can sense our actions, react instantly. Elias swallowed. He had faced alien warships before, but none like this. This was not merely a vessel. It was a predator. Prepare a reconnaissance squadron. No engagement unless absolutely necessary. I want to know what we're dealing with. Minutes later, a fleet of human fighters slipped out of Aurora Prime Station, their engines glowing faintly against the blackness of space. Elias watched them with unease. Humanity had faced hostile aliens, but these dragons, these were something else. As the squadron approached the anomaly, the dragon-shaped ship loomed larger on their sensors. It did not move to attack. Instead, it hovered among the asteroids with terrifying grace. Its metallic scales reflected the starlight like fire frozen in motion. Lieutenant Hera Quinn, squadron leader, whispered into her comm. "It's beautiful and terrifying. I've never seen technology move like this." One of the drones sent ahead to scout exploded mid-flight, shredded by invisible forces. Hera's squadron flinched instinctively. "It's targeting our technology, not us," she realized aloud. Back on the horizon's edge, Elias's jaw tightened. "It's testing us. It wants to see how we react. Stay calm." "Do not provoke it," Leora nodded. "Commander, I think this species, if we can call it that, is ancient. Their ships are extensions of themselves. Each attack is deliberate. They are sending a message: trespass and face consequences." Suddenly, the dragon ship unleashed a wave of energy that swept through the asteroid belt. Humans braced as drones and smaller vessels were tossed about like leaves in a storm. Shields flared and flickered. Several ships went offline, yet not a single human life was lost. "Commander," Juna's voice was urgent. "They're not attacking us directly. They're demonstrating power." Elias exhaled slowly. "Then we respond the same way. Observe, record, and survive. Humanity doesn't panic, we adapt." Hara's squadron regained composure, circling the dragon ship cautiously. Holographic scanners revealed scales of metallic alloys, glowing veins of unknown energy, and a vast pulsing core that seemed almost alive. "It's intelligent," one pilot said, voice shaking. "It moves with purpose, like it knows what we're thinking before we do." "Exactly," Leora said from the command bridge. "They're reading patterns, our choices, our formations, even our fear. If we act predictably, we'll lose before we fire a single shot." Elias nodded. "Then we act unpredictably. Split the squadron into small units. Use the asteroids as cover and gather as much data as we can. No heroics. No mistakes." The fleet scattered, weaving through jagged asteroids. The dragon ship mirrored their movements, shifting and twisting through the void as if it were dancing with them. Its energy pulses interfered with sensors, forcing pilots to rely on intuition rather than instruments. Hera gritted her teeth. "It's learning. Every maneuver we make, it adapts." Elias's voice came through the comm. "That's fine. Let it learn. Humans adapt faster than it expects." For hours, the fleet danced with the dragon. Each attack and countermeasure brought new insights. The ship's psychic field was powerful, but it was not invincible. Patterns emerged. Its attacks followed predictable intervals, leaving brief gaps. In those gaps, human drones and scanners collected vital information. Dr. Leora Khan's eyes glimmered with discovery. "Commander, look at this. The psychic field, its intensity drops momentarily after each strike. If we time our movements perfectly, we can evade and study its energy signature." Elias smiled grimly. "Good. Then we survive and we learn. Humanity always finds a way." Suddenly, a warning flashed on the bridge sensors. A secondary ship emerged from behind a dense asteroid cluster, a smaller dragon-shaped vessel, perhaps a scout. Its eyes glowed with crimson light. "It's coordinating," Leora whispered. "They're not just attacking randomly. They are a hive intelligence. One leads, others follow." Elias made a decision. Fall back, regroup, and transmit a peaceful signal. If this is intelligence, they must understand negotiation. We show strength, but also reason. The fleet carefully retreated, using the asteroid field as cover. As they pulled back, the dragon ships mirrored them briefly, then disappeared into the void, leaving behind a silent warning. Human sensors picked up traces of scorched metal and energy pulses, signs of their power but also restraint. Back on the bridge of the horizon's edge, Elias addressed his officers. "This was a test. They could have destroyed us. They didn't. That means they're intelligent and they're watching. They're not mindless monsters. We face something that thinks differently. Something that values territory, order, and respect." Juna's eyes were wide. "Respect? Do they understand us at all?" "They are learning," Leora said. "And now so are we. The fact that they spared lives, it's not mercy. It's communication. They want us to understand the consequences of intrusion." Elias's hands clenched. "Then we show them what humans are capable of. Not through destruction, but through courage, ingenuity, and determination. We adapt, we survive, and we learn from this encounter. Humanity does not run. Humanity faces the unknown." Across the colonies, news of the encounter spread quickly. Some colonists panicked. believing the dragons would attack again. Others marveled at the intelligence and power of the alien species. Scientists and engineers scrambled to analyze the data gathered from the fleet, trying to find weaknesses, patterns, or messages in the dragon's movements. At Aurora Prime Station, Dr. Leora Khan presented her findings to the Colonial Council. Their ships are extensions of themselves, she explained. They communicate through energy patterns and psychic fields. Direct confrontation is dangerous, but they are not invincible. We can study them, predict their actions, and if we act carefully, avoid destruction. One council member, skeptical, asked, "And what if we fail? What if they decide to strike next?" Leora's voice was firm. "Then we learn again. That is the human way. Survival is not just about strength. It's about adaptation, courage, and intelligence. If we fail trying. If we succeed, we gain knowledge and maybe their respect." Elias listened quietly, watching the stars beyond the station. Somewhere out there, the dragons waited. They were not monsters, not mindless destroyers. They were a challenge. A warning. And humanity thrived on challenges. He turned to Leora. "Prepare for further encounters. Gather every piece of data we have. Build simulations, train pilots, and study their energy patterns. If they come again, and they will, we will be ready." Leora nodded. "Yes, Commander, but do you think they will attack again?" Elias's eyes narrowed, staring into the void. "They will test us. They always test what they do not understand. But they will learn, just as we learn. And when they come again, humanity will not be caught off guard. We survive, we adapt, and we face the impossible, because that is what humans do." The stars shone over the colonies once more, calm on the surface, but beneath that calm, humanity prepared. Every pilot trained, every engineer worked, every scientist analyzed. Humanity had been warned, humanity had been tested, and humanity would rise to meet the dragons when they returned. For Commander Elias Varn and his crew, one truth remained. They had faced the unknown and survived. And in survival, they found the strength to fight not just with weapons, but with courage, intelligence, and the will to endure. Somewhere in the blackness, the dragon-shaped ship observed, waiting, patient and aware. Humanity had made its first impression. The question now was, what impression would the dragons leave on them next? Word count, 1520 words.